Hello YouTube, it's Tony. So today I will be showing you a 1-99 or 120 smithing guide for 2019. What I'll be showing you are the fast, the cheap, and even the AFK methods as well. Before I start everything, I have a huge disclaimer and please follow this or else you're definitely not going to understand this video. First of all, smithing is somewhat complicated and I know it's going to be a little bit difficult to explain to a dummy how this skill works, but I will definitely try my best. The second disclaimer is that this is mainly used for main accounts, no pun intended, but if you're an Iron Man, you might be able to use this as well. There is no guarantee, however. In terms of the cost and profit of these training methods, the prices are definitely going to change. Here are the basics of smithing. Any anvil works just fine. However, Artisan's workshop is the best anvil. You just want to go south of the Falador lodestone, and it is just right beside the mining guild. Here is the marker on the map showing you the location of where the Artisan's workshop is located. So Tony, how does smithing work given how complicated this is? Well, to start things off, there is what is called a metal bank. You want to right click and deposit all your bars to an anvil or a heater nearby. Yeah, nowadays you do not have to carry them in your inventory. You want to click the heater nearby. After that, you'll get a really large interface. Now select what metal you want to work on, which is on the top left section. After that, you're going to select armor or weapons, which is in the middle section. On the right side, you're going to select base. Finally, on the bottom right side of the interface, you will then hit begin project. You'll receive what is called an unfinished smithing item. Now immediately afterwards, you want to click the anvil nearby and then you'll start smithing. As you can see right here, there are two bars on the top of your head. The first bar is what is called the progress bar. Doing progress per strike means that you're essentially doing DPS. The way it works is that every 2 ticks you'll get smithing XP. Now for every piece of armor or weapon you're smithing, the total amount of XP you get is a lot. However, the XP is divided per progress. Essentially, the more progress you're doing per hit, the faster the XP per hour you'll be getting. You know how before the more bars you use, the more XP per hour you'll be getting, right? Well, the progress per strike is actually the same for all the equipment. So in other words, plate body smithing is only marginally faster than smithing one-handed swords. Like, the reason being is because of the interface ticks. A rune plate body would require the same smithing level as a rune dagger, let's say. Unfortunately, it kinda sucks for invention components because smithing the items is significantly slower than before. The amount of total progress required per bar is based on the bar type. The base amount of progress you'll be doing every single strike is just 10. However, as you level up for every metal type, this can be bumped to 11 progress per strike. The second bar on the top of your head is called the heat mechanic. You unlock this at level 10 smithing. Every strike you do will always burn 10 heat. By having a higher heat percentage, you are essentially doing more progress damage per strike. In order to do the maximum damage per strike in terms of the multiplier, you need to have 66% or higher heat. Here's the full chart showing you the heat percentage as well as the progress multiplier. The maximum amount of heat is based on your smithing and your firemaking level. At level 1 in both skills, you'll start with 306 heat. It scales all the way to level 99, in which case you'll be getting 894 heat. The more AFK you are, the less XP per hour you'll be getting. In order to add heat again, just pretty much click the nearby heater. How much heat you recover every tick is also based on your smithing and firemaking level. So to sum this whole thing up, just maintain 66% or higher heat. All you're gonna do is just repeat the same process. Upgrading items. It's the same concept as above. However, on the right side of the interface, you will be selecting instead +1 or however upgrade you want. This requires extra bars, and you also have to have the previous upgrade in your inventory. For example, an Elder Rune +5 plate body requires an Elder Rune +4 plate body, which will then require an Elder Rune +3 plate body, etc. You get the idea, right? Now as for the smithing level required, it's actually the same if you're using the same metal. Even a Necronium plate body +3 is going to require the same smithing level as a regular Necronium plate body. So there's also a chart for the XP multiplier per strike because higher upgrades give you more XP per strike per progress. Depending on the metal type, there will be a maximum number of upgrades available. Upgraded items have higher defense and HP values. Here are the XP boosts. You can get around 180k bonus XP per hour by doing stealing creation. I do have a guide on this, and I will definitely leave the link in the description. It's best to train on double XP weekend because smithing is extremely expensive nowadays. There are more to list, but these ones are the most common XP multipliers in the game. The first useful item we have is the Rework Armor 4. Nowadays, it works all the way up to Elder Rune Knight. There's a 1% chance you can get an extra bar when you're smelting. There's also a 1% chance you can double the progress when you're smithing as well. Now the Dimension Disaster Rework Elite task will bump this up to 2%. The Blacksmith outfit. It is obtainable from Artisan's workshop. It will cost you 50% respect each. See, this is why you should train smithing at Artisan's workshop. You can earn respect, and then you can spend it on these pieces. So the full set will give you 6% more smithing XP. It also retains the effects of Rework armor if you own that as well. Then we have the modified blacksmith helmet. There's a 1% chance you can generate an extra bar when you're smelting. The next useful item we have is the smelting gauntlets. Those who have gotten goldsmith gauntlets in the past, well, this is pretty much the replacement of that. By smelting the bars from the ores, they will go straight to the metal bank. This in turn allows you to smelt 60 bars at once. Luminite injectors. Portable forges are removed from the game, so yeah, these ones are the replacements. When you deploy them in Artisan's workshop, and it can only be used in Artisan's workshop, you'll get +1 progress per swing. Iron Man can actually benefit from this. Unfortunately, it's not called in Portable's FC. However, World 70 Artisan's workshop has these 24/7 around the clock. I think World 2 or World 48 has these as well. I'm not entirely sure though. Scroll of Efficiency. It will cost you 20k Dungeoneering tokens. It also requires 55 Dungeoneering and 55 smithing. Basically, there's a 2% chance you can refund a bar when you're smithing. We then have the Crystal Hammer. It is obtained from using a Crystal Tool Seed on one of the elves and then she'll enchant it for you. There's a 1% chance you can double the progress when you're smithing. If you do not augment this, then it only comes with 28 charges. The next section I'll get into are the invention perks. There are 2 augmentable smithing items. The first is the Hammertron, and the second is the augmentable Crystal Hammer. Yes, it will provide the same effects as the regular Crystal Hammer. The best perks I would suggest are Rapid 3 and Tinker 3. Perfect Juju Smithing Potion. It will last you 1 hour for every dose. If you do have the Perfect Plus potion unlocked, in which case you do need 99 herb lore in the Mailer clan recipe, it will retain the effects for 4 hours long. When you're smithing, there's a 5% chance you can double the progress. Yeah, there's a lot of items that double the progress, so it's honestly really amazing. Smelting urns. Each urn will have a crafting level requirement in order to create. Don't worry, this can actually be assisted. Now only Smelting Bars fills the urns because, well, it's called a smelting urn for a reason. Nowadays, it also works with the new tier 90 bars as well as the corrupted ores. We also have the Urn Enhancer. It is a Nomad quest reward in order to unlock it. This will then boost teleporting urns by 25%. Smithing Auto Heater. This is the replacement of the coal bag. It will cost you 4,000 Dungeoneering tokens. Whenever you reach 0% heat, it automatically consumes 5 pieces of coal and then it will bring it back to 33%. The last useful item we have for now is the Superheat form. Not only do you have to complete the Light Within quests, but you also need 91 prayer to activate this. Basically, it will speed up smelting by 1 tick. If you're smithing on medium heat, it will actually act as high heat. On the other hand, if you're smithing on low heat, it will act as medium heat. Yeah, so combining both of these with the smithing auto heater, it really does make smithing more AFK, and somewhat fast actually. Grace of the Elves will half the prayer drain rate of Superheat form. So let's go ahead and talk about the training methods. From level 1 to 29, you'll be completing the Knight Sword quests. Oh Tony, not everyone likes Quest. I get it, but it only takes you 5 to 10 minutes. Not only does it save you a lot of time training smithing itself, but it will also save you money because the bronze and iron bars have kinda gone up a little bit here. By completing the quests, you'll get 29 smithing instantly. If you like questing even more, then you can try completing the Elemental Workshop 1. The first set of methods I'm going to be showing you are the fast, expensive methods in the Artisan's Workshop. I know the next few clips are going to be slides, but I've already demonstrated how smithing works. It's mostly a recommendation slide and just showing you the calculation. Now speaking of calculator, there is a calculator for this and I will definitely leave the link in the description. Huge shout out to I'mSudi for creating this. Now you can customize this calculator based on various XP boosts and the items used. As for the training methods, there are definitely a lot of different ways to train smithing. I mean, surely you only click an anvil in the heater, right? Well, some people can go from bars to base upgrade, or base upgrade and then stop at +2 and then sell it, or even base to burial armor. Yeah, the amount of options do get really complicated, so in this case, I'm only going to narrow it down to 3 routes. From level 29 to 30, you'll be smithing steel plate body +1. You just want to buy a regular steel plate body and then upgrade it to +1. You'll need 4 steel plate bodies and 18 steel bars. For the non-AFK XP per hour, you'll be getting 21k. If you want to AFK, then you will only be getting 11k XP per hour if you're using the smithing auto heater. Then from level 30 to 40, you'll be doing mithril plate body +2. You want to buy a mithril plate body +1 and then upgrade it to +2. In this case, you'll be needing 20 mithril plate bodies and 200 mithril bars. Now from level 40 onwards, you can smith what is called the burial equipment. You can only do it at the burial forges in the Artisan's Workshop. It will require the maximum upgrade equipment, but you don't need extra bars. It's pretty much the same concept as smithing, except you won't get any end products. On the interface, you're just going to select burial. Basically, it's the same XP as if you were to go from the second last upgrade to the last upgrade stage of the equipment. However, the amount of progress that you need is actually halved. Also, the XP multiplier per strike is actually double that. We also have what is called the burial sets. It's the same concept as a burial equipment, in which case, the only difference is that you're smithing 5 pieces of armor at once. The plate body, the plate legs, the helm, the gloves, and finally the boots. You do get the same amount of XP as if you were to smith them individually instead. However, the combined XP for this is 5% more XP. From level 40 to 50, you'll be doing adamant equipment. You can buy Addy equipment +1 and then upgrade it to +2 and sell it. The amount you need for the first method is 38 Addy plate body +1 and 380 Addy bars. For the burial Addy plate bodies, you'll be needing 32 Addy plate body +2. Finally, you'll be needing 15 Addy burial sets. From level 50 to 60, you will be doing rune equipment. In this case, you'll be needing 36 rune plate body +2 and 720 rune bars. For the burial method, you'll be needing 36 rune plate bodies. The amount of rune burial sets you'll need, 14 rune burial sets. From level 60 to 70, you'll be smithing dragon equipment. I do not know how to pronounce this, so I'm just going to say dragon. You're going to be doing dragon equipment +3, in which case you'll be needing 66 dragon plate body +2 and 1320 dragon bars. If you were to do dragon burial armor instead, then you need to buy 66 dragon plate body +3. The amount of dragon burial sets you'll be needing is 26. From level 70 to 80, you'll be doing necronium equipment. For the first method, you'll be making necronium +4. In this case, you'll need 63 necronium plate body +3 and 2520 necronium bars. If you were to do burial equipment, then you will be needing 63 necronium plate body +4. Then for the burial sets, you'll need 25 necronium burial sets. From level 80 to 90, you will then be doing bane equipment. At this point, you should have unlocked the full blacksmith outfit because you do get respect as you train in Artisan's Workshop. In this case, you'll need 114 bane plate body +3 and 4560 bars. For burial equipment, the amount you need is 114 bane plate body plus 4. As for how many Bane burial sets you'll be needing, that will be 45. From level 90 to 99, you will be doing Elder Rune equipment. At this point, you should have unlocked Superheat form. Anyways, you're gonna smith Elder Rune plus 5 equipment. Now, as for the amount required, 91 Elder Rune Plate Body plus 4, and 7,280 Elder Rune Bars. If you want to smith Elder Rune burial equipment, then you'll be needing 91 Elder Rune Plate Body plus 5. So for the Elder Rune burial sets to get to level 99, you'll need 36 sets. The 99 plus section. The first usable item we have is Superheat item. Now I didn't mention this before intentionally because it's not all that useful before level 99. You're essentially reheating the unfinished smithing object. So combine that together, we have the Smithing Cape. This is where it comes into play. You'll get 5 more progress per strike every single time it's reheated. Yeah, so by combining Superheat item and the Smithing Cape, you're essentially doing more progress per strike. With that being said, the best XP per hour in the game goes to Elder Rune burial sets with the 2 ticking method. Yes, you're gonna cast Superheat item as often as possible. The base XP per hour you can get for this is 2.2 million. Now I do have a guide on this, and I will definitely leave the link in the description. Now casting Superheat item can be really expensive. In this case, I did a mini calculation on this, and you have to value your time as 7.5 mil GP per hour or more in order to make 2 ticking worth it. The values I listed are for 99 to 120 or 99 to 200 mil smithing. Trust me, it's definitely faster than 90 smithing. Just pause the video because I will be moving on to the next section. The profitable methods. Smelting bars is pretty profitable, but the XP per hour is pretty slow. Now I'm not going to cover this in full details, as I do have a full guide on this, and I will definitely leave the link in the description. Smithing Cannonballs. It requires 35 smithing. Now the best furnace for this is the Port Famazes. Use your Ectophile teleport and then enter the ghost town. This is what the marker looks like on the minimap. Now I highly recommend you complete the Mauritanian medium task. This in turn would make the cannonballs twice as fast. The XP rates are pretty much the same as before, except this time it's extremely AFK. Not only that, but you don't even need to bank as well because you're essentially using the steel bars from the metal bank. If you completed the Mauritanian medium task, you'll get 30k XP per hour from this. In addition to this, you also profit 800k GP per hour. I've talked about the regular and profitable methods, so let's talk about the other methods. From level 89 onwards, you'll be smelting the corrupted ores. I highly recommend you use this at the Traherne furnace. Also, if you do it during the Voice of Saren, you'll get 20% more XP. Yeah, it's very AFK. In order to get corrupted ores, well, you have to mine the Saren stones, or you can get it from the crystal chest in Prif. The decorated smelting urns also work with the corrupted ores as well. You can combine that with Superheat form, and that will make you smelt them even faster. I mean, surely not everyone likes quests, but still, if you want an AFK decent smithing XP, quests are pretty rewarding. You can smelt 1,500 corrupted ores per hour. If you reuse Superheat form as well, this can be bumped to 2,000 corrupted ores per hour. The smithing XP per hour is 378k with Superheat form. Combining the Voice of Saren with Superheat form, this can be bumped all the way up to 441.6k. I did use Superheat item on this, but it is definitely not worth using anymore. You can do the Protean Bars. Primarily they're obtained from Treasure Hunter. Now you can smith this at any anvil you want. Generally it's best to use them at level 90 or higher smithing. Yeah, it is still very AFK though, however. If you were to smith Protean Bars in the Artisan's workshop, then unfortunately you won't be getting respect. At the given rate of 750 Protean Bars per hour, this in turn would get you 397.5k base XP per hour. Ceremonial Swords. It will only work as a D&D. There's a chance you can receive a Ceremonial Sword design when you finish smithing any item in Artisan's workshop. The XP per sword is pretty much the same as before, except it no longer requires ores. Unfortunately, you can only do one Ceremonial Sword design at once, and it is not bankable. However, if you don't feel like doing the ceremonial sword, then you can just drop it anytime you want. I do have a full strategy guide on ceremonial swords, and I will definitely leave the link in the description. I know it's a little bit outdated, but the strategy is pretty much the same in terms of how you hit the sword. Whenever you get a perfect sword, it will automatically hand it in. However, if you do not have a perfect sword, but you still have some moves left, then you can talk to this NPC and then manually hand it in. Smithing Daily Challenge. You can smith any Elder Rune equipment you want. Burial armor works as well, but for some reason the burial sets just don't seem to work. Luckily for you, you do not have to hand this item in. If you extend this with 50 Viswax, this will get you 67.3k XP. Warbands. Yeah, it is a dangerous PvP activity, but it's basically a D&D. By looting all these cams at level 99 smithing, this will get you 360k XP per day. Now there are definitely a lot of friend chats that do this. However, I don't do warbands myself, so I cannot help you here. Finally, the last training method we have, smithing Brawling Gloves. It is best to use them at the Dragonfire shields in the deep wilderness near the Mage Bank. If you want something that's free while giving you more XP per charge, you can try Ceremonial Swords. The only problem is that it takes way longer to use. So this wraps up my entire 1 to 99 or 120 smithing guide for 2019. There are definitely multiple ways to train smithing. Before you say my calculation's wrong, just please read the notes as a reference. What I will not be including are the burial sets because their prices really fluctuate a lot. Here are the values of how much it costs. Now these are the base values of smithing, and as you can see right here, the flat rates are just very expensive. Because of this, I highly suggest you train it on double XP weekend, and of course, use as many XP boosts as possible. Either way, just choose which method is right for you, and best of luck training smithing. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope it helps. If I missed anything, feel free to ask. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already because I will definitely be doing more 1 to 99 or 120 guides in the future.